This morning, David Black left his home in Cookstown for just another day at work in Maghaberry prison. But he didn't get there. Instead, he met his death on the M1 motorway at the hands of dissident Republicans. David, who leaves behind a wife, son and daughter, died instantly. Tonight, his widow called for no retaliation to the killing. Well, in a few moments, we'll get reaction in the studio. But first, Sharon O'Neill reports on the latest murder, which has stunned Northern Ireland.
At first it looked like a tragic accident, but turned out to be more sinister. The man who died behind the wheel, shot dead. David Black, a father of two, is the first prison officer to be killed in almost 20 years, and the news has sent shockwaves throughout Northern Ireland.
They are flat earth fanatics, living in the dark ages, spewing out hatred from every pore. What they can't kill is the peace process. And we are the proof of that. Our community stands absolutely foursquare and united against the activities of these groups.
It was a completely senseless attack. It demonstrates very aptly the recklessness, the ruthlessness, and the sheer dangerousness of those who still oppose peace, and as the Justice Minister said, are completely addicted to taking us back to those dark days of the past.
7:30 this morning and Mr Black was on his way to work at the high security Maghaberry jail. But it appears he was being followed. As he was about to pass the main turn-off for Lurgan, a car with a Dublin registration pulled alongside him. Whoever was inside opened fire, fatally wounding Mr Black. His car crashed into a ditch, the vehicle used by the gunmen found burnt out in the Inglewood area of Lurgan.
This has been meticulous. There's absolutely no doubt about that. They have watched this prison officer for probably quite a while, routine setup, and there's a real message there for the security forces and prison service, and that is not to get lulled into this false sense of security. They need to be very careful.
This is the second murder by dissidents in 7 days. Last week, MI5 downgraded the threat they posed in Britain. Here, it remains severe. But just 24 hours ago, the Secretary of State told Westminster the number of attacks in Northern Ireland had gone down.
If you look at the activity over the past number of weeks and months, the vast bulk of it fails. Bombs don't get to their targets. Bombs don't explode. People are arrested. And those dissident organisations are compromised, both by the talking that's coming from the inside to the outside, but also from the listening and watching of the security service. But the important point, and it's confirmed this morning, there is no such thing as a perfect 100% intelligence picture. And these people are, on occasion, able to get in under the radar and carry out these deadly attacks.
This is a statement, very simply a statement that we are simply here and we mean business. And there will be a certain amount of elation. You will now take us serious. To me, I just think that they've shocked literally the people in Northern Ireland, and they will be wallowing in that sort of sense of, I don't know if you would call it pride or job well done. It's pretty sick really, isn't it, to think that that's what they'll be thinking, but that's exactly what they'll be thinking.
So who are the dissidents? Back in July, a new group came into being, the IRA. It's made up of RAD, Republican Action Against Drugs, the Real IRA, and a mix of other terrorists. Then there's Ugla na Heron and the Continuity IRA.
Anybody can pull a trigger. It's all about why they do it, what they want to achieve. 16, 17, 18-year-old children go out and do it, and they do it. It's the experience that concerns me. That's coming back into these organisations. That genuinely concerns me.
Yes, there is that new IRA coalition that is part of that world now. But that new IRA coalition has pulled together people who were already out there. So in many senses, it's an old threat dressed up in a new name.
William McKee was a former governor at the Maze. Terrorists tried to murder him a number of times.
You'll get a telephone call to say, they have some particular terrorist organisation have your address. the police will come and they'll discuss options. But I mean, when they have your address, the only really viable option is to move home. So this happened on a number of occasions, you know, where you disrupt the whole family. You nearly move in the middle of the night, you know, and even move in the middle that you're conscious or being followed, or, you know, it's just this, it just destroys your life.
Compared to the maze, there are a small number of dissident Republicans in Maghaberry, 45. But there have been significant problems over conditions, and prison officers have been under threat.
What the maze prisoners had, that's where they think they would want to start from, the 24-hour lock, etc. But that won't happen in Maghaberry. You know, the numbers are too small and they don't have the public support behind them outside, so it'll not happen. So the prisoners probably do view it as a mini maze, would like it to become a mini maze.
David Black is the 30th prison officer to be killed during the Troubles. His colleagues are stunned.
Prison officers have always been targets of these paramilitary organisations. We believe that we had actually moved on, but you are aware that there have been threats made against prison officers by these dissident Republicans now for quite some time. And even through the Troubles, when we lost 29 officers, these organisations need to realise that by killing prison officers is not going to change the policy within prisons.
Police have had notable successes against the dissidents over the last 2 years, arrests and seizures of weapons. But on a day when they again brutally demonstrated their ability to kill, the question is, can they ever be stopped?
I personally think it's impossible. I've spent 30 years trying to do it, you know, and yes, it is impossible because they just keep coming up again and again. You put one down, you put two away, and they come back again. They have got this ideology about where they want to be and where they want to go, and quite frankly, nobody understands where they want to be and where they want to go because they won't negotiate, they won't talk. You know, there's nobody getting through to them.
The dissidents are doing all they can to direct the peace process, but all those involved in keeping the peace here insist that won't be allowed to happen. Sharon O'Neill, UTV Live Tonight.